All right, here we go with episode 470. We up that far? Confirmed, 470. Jesus. Feels like just yesterday. I was thinking about this right when I was counting down last episode. Watch me when I say 3, 2, 1. This is what was going through my head when I was doing it. I was like, I've done 769 of these. I've counted down 769 times. Now, actually, I think I've counted down about 780 times because there's been some false starts. The episodes didn't record; they had to re-record. So it's probably been about 780. How many things have you done in your life 780 times? Quite a few. I mean, you probably brush your teeth 780 times a year, maybe even 3 times. Maybe over 1,000. You definitely. I don't know. That's a rabbit hole we probably don't want to go down. There's a lot of insane answers to that. We do a lot of things a lot, right? But once we get to past the obvious, how many things have you ever done 780 times? Well, I'm about to do this 780 times. Let's go ahead and get into it. 3, 2, 1. This is very interesting. They're really setting up the end of the series now. Got to find 3 more of these sons of bitches. Now, somebody was talking about, like, I think it was HIG. We're nowhere near close to the end of them. And probably they said that because we've only found 1 more in the last episodes of the series. Like, we've got what? 1,115? So there's about, beyond this point, there's, 350 episodes? I bet we've only found 1 more of these red stones. How long was Gold Roger looking for the island? I mean, he was probably just looking in general, right? Just out there checking shit out, right? But I get the idea he spent years out here doing this shit. He's been everywhere. You know? Luffy hasn't even been exploring for a year because remember, he took 2 years off, right? This is pretty cool. Look at that smoke coming from the cat. Boy, you be smoking a lot. And we have a series title. You don't even know what the hell the One Piece is. I know I think it's knowledge, right? Which is why Robin's the most important member of the crew. Me too. But that's a lot of hieroglyphs to just be saying. A lot of hieroglyphs to be just saying, "Hey, here, go here," right? Basically, summing up some of the shit we already knew, right? Just in case we forgot. I get some. Here's the thing: some flashbacks I mind, or not even flashbacks, reruns. Some reruns I mind, some reruns I don't mind. I don't mind the reruns where it's been 3, 4, 500 episodes because we need a refresher course, right? I mind the reruns where it's earlier this episode or last episode. That's idiotic. So you got to memorize all this shit. Nothing. I see. Nothing's changed my original theory that I talked about a while back. That this knowledge is going to topple the government. Whatever happened in the Void Centuries, something so horrible that we're going to have to. Anybody who's in charge of the government is going to have to go. I agree. Let's go right now. I'm fired up. Usopp's always the voice of reason, isn't he? Whole Cake Island. Oh, shit. Right. So you have to kick the pirates' asses. Gotcha. Tell us some. What's their names? Let's have it. I see. So that's why you have to kick the Emperor's asses to get to the One Piece. I see. Not a problem. Yeah, he wanted to do that anyway. Exactly. Look at Law. Yeah. Dude, this is the life you joined. Oh, shut up. This is the life you lead, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. Now you know you're fighting him soon. Everything makes you wet yourself. You just need to look at him. You just need to look at him, dumbass. Right. Sure, yeah. I see. I thought she'd have to memorize it, but that makes more sense. Look at little Luffy. Sup? Look at him, man. He nailed it. That was a good job. Good work, man. Except, what's the problem with this plan? Hey, little Luffy got the job done, man. He was nailing it. Oh, man. You know what his problem is. Kick his ass. Oh, Jesus Christ. Scared ass bitch. I know which side I'm on. And I speak as somebody who still thinks Usopp could have beat Luffy back in the day. You know the episode. Nope. 3 points on 4 points. You should be able to if it's an even distance between the points, right? At least you have a general idea where the fourth one should be. The author wants to wrap this shit up. That's why we gotta go a faster route, man. Idiots. Cats like play, right? They like violent play. Oh, you made him sad. They'll kill her. She can read this shit. They'll kill her. Right? Or they'll take her. Oh, yeah. He's not wrong. Yeah, she must be protected at all costs. She's your most valuable asset. I don't mean like I'm not trying to dehumanize her. I'm just saying. This sumbitch. I can't believe he's still alive. Some bullshit. Yeah. I like that. We haven't we haven't really had like a Robin centric episode in a while. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like it. Oh, it's a problem. We will not have this. This ain't happening. Well, Plus, she can do the thing. But you need somebody to watch your back, right? Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't count on me like that. You're goddamn right. Meanwhile, I know he's smashing her, right? So he's definitely gonna protect her. He's already on record. He'll protect her. That doesn't really help me very much. Thank you. I'll take their lives and money. You know, Zoro didn't say anything. Zoro, you dick. So you're not gonna protect her, huh? Unbelievable. I mean, I think he would, but he didn't vow to, which, offends me. Only 4 ships, that's all they got? So you want Daffy, huh? This is not the retread I'm looking for. Keep that sumbitch under lock and key. Maybe this is how he dies, right? I know he's already said it didn't happen, but, maybe it's about to happen. They know who this is. You're not really hiding your light under a bushel. They are, man, but these are 2 rough riders right here. I think they can fight, right? I know they can fight. He might have met his match in those 2 admirals right there. Let's get the hell out of here. Broadside these motherfuckers. Shit, got me cussing, man. I like how the cannonball went through the wave. Get this sumbitch. Yeah. Those cannonballs ain't even got a chance, man. Yeah, don't be too happy now, bitch. You got bested. I don't think you want the smoke. You definitely do not want the smoke. I know Jack's a bad mofo, right? Like, he's very strong. I get that. But we got some admirals on board. They're going to tear your ass up. Just make the ship heavy. Couldn't you just make the ship heavy and it goes underwater? Huh. What are we doing here? You gonna collapse him? What the hell? Oh. Come on, let's get back to that. What the hell just happened? What were they showing there at the end? It looked like it was a time pass. A time jump, right? Maybe he backed off when they said that person came back. Huh. How dare you call me dog? Well, other than the lying I've been doing to him for weeks. Insolent dork. We're doing insolent dork. Yes, that pronunciation seemed to be Luffy, not Luffy. That was weird. Oh, I see. They could be descended from the people who created it. Hell yeah. And then they scattered the pages throughout the world. How interested in this is Law? Does he care? It's hard to tell with him. Huh. Not me. We don't know shit. These characters are more important than we thought they were going to be. So they know how to read it too. That makes her dispensable. Oh, however, what? Oh, ah, shit. Okay, so she's dispensable again. Indispensable. I mean, come on now. You know what it means. Got this man sweating. Got this man crying. Like I said, again, kind of dragging things out, right? Like, this could have been one quick sentence. Although he is emotional, so. Just finish your goddamn sentence. They're trying to express emotion, I get it. Are you crying or crapping, man? It's almost undistinguishable. How long ago did this happen? They're acting like it was yesterday. Like, my father's death broke me. Like, it broke me. It changed who I am as a person. I can talk about it without crying now. Like, because there's a distance, right? They can't even talk about it without crying. That makes us feel like it's very recent, right? Shit. Yep. He's really starting to sound like an asshole. I guess we got to take care of this too. But to save them, that's what it sounds like. Like like I said, this trauma seems really recent. Right. Oh, I see. Witness the secret of the world. I don't think we've seen that phrase that way before. Witnessed the secret of the world. I've been saying the one piece of information. That's what I believe. I believe, here's the things I believe. I'll just make a little offhand list here. The one piece is information. The greatest treasure is information. You know, and again, like I said, this story, we got to remember where the story came from. The story came from Journey to the West. It came from Gulliver's Travels, ancient mythology. I mean, you could track the roots of this story to those three sources at least. Probably there's many other inspirations. He likes Star Wars. He's a nerd. So whatever was in nerd culture before 1994, say, you know, this series is kind of a dragnet of all culture that happens before it, including like celebrities, historical figures, even if it's just caricatures of them, you know, Steven Tyler, shit like that, right? Elvis, stuff like that. But we're talking grassroots foundational inspiration. Journey to the West, Gulliver's Travels. And then I'm sure I'm unfamiliar with a lot of the mythology he read growing up. Local mythology, Japanese mythology, Chinese mythology probably. So in these kinds of stories, knowledge is power, not gold. It's not one piece of gold, right? Now, it's possible that one piece could be something else, like magic that allows you to time travel or something. Like every now and then that thought across my head. Because what if we could just travel back to the Void Century and see it for ourselves? See what happened for ourselves rather than just be told it, right? Probably not, but, you know, it is a fantasy story. So, it's knowledge, is what I think it is. I think it's the kind of knowledge that would make the government of the time wipe out a century's worth of information and knowledge, and maybe use a power to make the entire population forget. Because I think they say it's been 1,000 years since the Void Century. People don't know where some of these places are. They don't know much about these things that we're discovering in this world. And this is a population, this is a world where people travel by ship a lot. They travel around. Pirates have been everywhere. The Navy has been everywhere. And yet people don't know these things. They don't know where Raphael is. Now, Raphael is not like, it's a, not maybe not officially an island called Raphael that you can find on a map. It could be just like, you know, the holy city. It could be Jerusalem, right? But on a map, it would say Jerusalem. It wouldn't say the holy city, but what you're looking for is the holy city. You see what I mean? So, you know, you wouldn't be able to find it on a physical map, but it is there somewhere. It's just you don't know it by that, right? Like, you know it by this thing, and on the map it's that thing. So that it seems to be the case. So you've got that going on. Then you've got what I think the devil fruits are is some kind of, they come from one central location way back in the past. Maybe from the Void Century, maybe before that. And it'll probably end up being something like, I've seen this on Attack on Titan, I've seen it on Naruto. You can trace it back to one source. Here's where the magic came from. And then it spreads out over the entire world, right? It's going to be something like that. It's going to be a person or a thing that created the first fruits and then they propagated. And I think it's something that can be turned off. We didn't see it turned off on Naruto. We did see it turned off on Attack on Titan. Here, if I was writing this, I would have the magic go away. That's how you get the series. Magic has brought nothing but pain and strife to people. It allows a bunch of little people to become petty tyrants, you know? How powerful would Blackbeard be without devil fruits? How powerful would Daffy be without devil fruits? He'd be a hell of a lot easier to take out, you know? A lot of these people would. I think you can create a lot more peace in the world if you get rid of the goddamn devil fruits. The only problem is the devil fruits are the only counterbalance to the government. So, what happens if we get another tyrannical government in 10,000 years, 5,000 years, 2,000 years, whatever, right? Now you have nothing that can counter them. You know, just a mere 300-400 years ago here on Earth, in our timeline, in our history, the local population could rise up and take over the government, overthrow the government. It was physically and technologically possible to overthrow the government 200 years ago, probably. You can't do that anymore. It's impossible. It's literally impossible for a population to overthrow a first world government in this day and age. You can't do it. There's drones, there's helicopters, there's surveillance, there's mass transit. Like, get a crowd that like rises up from surrounding states and they start forming and trying to advance on the capital. The government will see it coming 2 days before the crowd arrives there, and they'll have the drones and helicopters and tanks waiting, and there's nothing you can do, right? It is technologically impossible to overthrow a first world government these days. That wasn't the case a mere 200 years ago. You could have done it. The France did it, 1790? Wasn't it? 1776 was the United States. The colonies overthrowing it. And I think it was just a little bit more of a decade later, inspired by what the colonies did, the French population overthrew. And that was like what it passed for a first world country back then, right? Like, is the leading one of the leading technological nations overthrown. I think that's the last time that's happened. I guess Soviet Union, Russia. Yeah, so Russia. So it actually, it happened a little bit over 100 years ago. I stand corrected. 1917 is the last time, and you can consider Russia in that time because how big they were and how much military might they had and what kind of an economic force they were. They were a first world country. They were a technologically advanced country. In 1917, they got overthrown by the people. That's the last time it's happened. It's the last time it will ever happen. So, that being said, the same would be true here. If there were no fruit powers, you could probably, in this level of technology, overthrow the government still, but you won't be able to do it in 100 years, 150 years. They'll have planes, they'll have bombs, they'll have drones, they'll have mass surveillance. You can already surveil better than you could in the real technological time period of this time period because they have the snails, right? Say you take away magic, you take away the snails. Still, you got mass surveillance in 150 years. So, the only downside of taking away the fruit powers is you have no counter to a government. If people had magic, if you had the X-Men here in this world, in our world, you could overthrow the government if you had to, if they were tyrannical. Of course, the only problem is my definition of tyrannical and your definition of tyrannical are going to be radically different. So if you have people with powers, you may have the wrong person overthrowing the government. Maybe the government's fine, it's good, it helps the people, they're not tyrants, and then you get some asshole who thinks they are because their agenda's different, and then take them over. So that's the danger, right? It's a double-edged sword. I think it's better to not have too much power in one person's hands or a small group of people's hands. Because one person or a small group of people can be crazy. They can be insane, and you just can't predict them, and they can do any old thing and just really hurt a lot of people. Ruin a lot of lives. Look what a dozen people with powers did to Dressrosa. Completely destroyed the island, almost killed every single person on the island because they had fruit powers. 12 people couldn't have done that without magic. That's why I keep saying the magic's got to go, man. It has got to go. You got to get rid of the magic to have a peaceful, prosperous world in this universe. It's got to go. So that's one of my mission statements. I don't know if the author intends that. I'm saying it's got to go. So the one piece is knowledge. Magic has to go. The fruit powers come from one source. As far as the will of D, like I've said before, I think there was a group of people, maybe about 12 people, who were there when something big happened. Maybe it was the creation of the devil fruits. Maybe they killed an alien and that created the first devil fruits and they were cursed or something, or they were imbued with some kind of power that went down the line, the bloodline. All of them had children. Those children are imbued with the power, and their children's children are imbued with the power, and their children's children's children are imbued with the power. And people who have this power in their blood somehow keep summoning the middle name D for some reason. Some kind of signifier, some label for people to know who they are and what they are. And I think only somebody with this bloodline can enter the final stage of something. Wherever the One Piece is, maybe it's a vault. You can't get into the vault unless you have this blood. And this blood is signified by the letter D. And you have good people and bad people, indifferent people, lazy people and ambitious people, strong people, weak people have the name. They have the bloodline. So it's all colors of the rainbow. Like after 1,000 years of this propagation, some of the bloodlines have died off. Some of them become very prosperous. You got giants who have this bloodline. I think everybody has this long. Probably the long arms had the bloodline. You know, everybody, long legs. So the people with this blood can get to the final stage. I believe this is my working theory. That's what it means. It probably means a lot of things. It's probably like the numbers in law. So numbers have one meaning, literally. They have another metaphorical meaning, and then they have even another meaning, which is just, you know, kind of what you put into it in a personal level, right? So you can have the literal meaning, which would mean the bloodline thing, but then you can also have, these are people to pay attention to, and then there could be some other meanings we haven't even gotten to yet. But so this just a quick, since they're kind of reiterating things, I wanted to reiterate my thoughts at this point. Maybe you've jumped in since I established these thoughts. These were my working theories a couple hundred episodes ago, and nothing's changed. I've seen has changed it so far. In fact, in this very episode, for the first time, we talk about what did he specifically say? Okay, I downloaded the episode. This is one I'm going to definitely rewatch a couple times. And I got the significant line here. And witness the secret of the world. Like I said. So what I was saying was, that line just reinforces my theories so far. Now, you could have a divergence point, you know. You could have your theory confirmed 90% of the way there, and all of a sudden it veers off to the right, and your theory was going to go to the left, and then you're screwed. Like, for instance, maybe your theory is that a relative is a big bad. A relative of our protagonist is a big bad, right? You get everything every piece of evidence you get who the big bad is confirms it's a relative, but your assumption is it's a parent, like the father, for instance. Turns out it's going to be the son. You know, completely goes the opposite direction. Like, oh, well, crap. But it looked good up to that point. You know what I'm saying? So it could be like that. Witness the secret of the world. I'm into it. So yeah, that's my little summary of where I am theory-wise right now. Nothing's changed. We'll probably go another 100 episodes before we do anything else with this. But I do find it interesting, them saying they know where two of the other places are. So maybe we can, you know, cut to the chase and get this information a lot faster than we ordinarily would have, because he knows he's got to start, like, come on. We're running out of real estate here. It's time to start wrapping this shit up. So, and I'm not in a hurry to end the series. I'm just saying, I just looked. It was episode 1119 just dropped recently. That's the most current one on the website. You were supposed to end at 1200. So, 81 episodes. That's an average story arc these days. One final story arc. Ain't no way that's happening, right? So, I don't know where we are specifically in that story at that point. But I think we'll probably have checked out two of the other stones in these next 300 episodes. So, yeah, we're running out of time. So they're trying to, I'm assuming they're trying to wrap this up in some, within his lifetime at least. He's not going to be George R. R. Martin. I guess he'd be the opposite of George R. R. Martin. Continuously putting out new content but not getting anywhere close to the ending, where George R. R. Martin is continuously not putting out content and getting nowhere close to the ending. So he's the exact opposite, but you know what I mean.